What's going on, folks, and welcome into this week's edition of Third and Long here on Sports Tree. I'm your host, as always, Connor Roundtree, and we have an excellent episode lined up for you guys today. We're going to be breaking down Thursday Night Football in the NFL and then giving you a rundown, a little preview for every single game on Sunday with a couple of betting nuggets and some information for you. And then last but not least, we'll give you our Survivor picks so you can get in to win. I'm getting a phone call. I am sorry. Got to turn that off. And then we're also going to give you our trivia raffle to get out of here. So a trivia question to get in to win a pair of NFL or CFL tickets to see any team that you'd like to see play next season. Let's jump right into this with Thursday Night Football. The 0-1 Minnesota Vikings are visiting the Philadelphia Eagles, who won their first game in New England. The Eagles are 7-point favorites, and we've seen this story before. Last season, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings visited the Eagles in Week 2, and the Eagles soared to a 24-7 victory. I do think this will be much closer, however. There is that narrative of Kirk Cousins on under the primetime lights. He's just 11-17-1 against the spread in primetime. However, he is 3-0 in his last three Thursday night games on the money line. So maybe something to look out for there. Maybe don't buy into that narrative. However, the Vikings are just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games as underdogs. So that's not a good sign if you're a fan of the Purple People Eaters. I like Kirk Cousins again this week to throw the ball like he did last week. Kirk Cousins is an absolute gunslinger, and we have him to go over 260.5 yards. If Mac Jones is dropping over 300 yards on you, odds are Kirk Cousins, who put up over 340 yards last week, is going to do some damage. This isn't the same Eagles secondary that we saw last year. CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's gone. Both starting safeties from last year are gone. Now they're dealing with a couple injuries at the defensive back position, and you have to deal with Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins. Not to mention you have TJ Hawkinson over the middle as a big target. So I like Kirk Cousins to go up over that number. And then a second prop pick that I like, I think Jalen Hurts goes for under his number of 251.5 yards. He only threw for 170 yards last week on 33 attempts, and he's gone under 220 yards in 4 out of his last 5 starts dating back to last season. Couple quarterback props for Thursday Night Football. That's where I'm going to be playing my money tonight. I'm going to take the Kirk Cousins over on his passing line, the under on Jalen Hurts. You can parlay those together if you like, but those are the picks for Thursday Night Football. I will take the Eagles to win this game, however. Dash 7 points after that defensive showing that I saw against New England. I don't really want to touch that, and I'm very comfortable with the quarterbacks and those numbers. Moving on to Sunday now. First up, Green Bay Packers are 1-0. They're heading to Atlanta to take on the undefeated Falcons, and the Packers are 41-26 against the spread under Matt LaFleur. That's the best mark in the NFL since 2019, with a minimum of 40 games coached. I like this Packers team. I don't like the Packers, pardon me. I totally said that wrong. I despise the Green Bay Packers. However, they're good. They're a perennial dominant force, and I have to accept that. The Packers are just a good franchise, and the Chicago Bears are a bad franchise. It's time for me to wake up to reality. I do like the Packers to get the job done on the road this week. The Buffalo Bills are hosting the Las Vegas Raiders, and I think the Bills will be coming for blood on a short week's notice after losing to the Jets, kind of giving that game away. I do not want to be a Raiders fan heading into this one. I think this will be a high-scoring game. 7 straight meetings between these teams have hit the over, and I like this game to hit the over as well. Something to note, Jimmy Garoppolo is 14-4 against the spread and 13-5 outright as an underdog throughout his career. Another bet that I like this week, James Cook. I like him to go for over 47.5 rushing yards. James Cook handled 12 of the 15 Buffalo rushing attempts last week, and if they get out to a lead, like I think they will, they're 9.5-point favorites, right? So if they get out to a lead, he could see a lot of the rock in the second half, and they could be drilling down some time here. So look out for the Buffalo Bills and the Raiders to hit their overs, and then James Cook to do a little rumbling. The Baltimore Ravens visit the Cincinnati Bengals. Lamar Jackson is pretty incredible against the spread as an underdog. He's 10-1-1 as a regular season underdog and 8-4 outright. Furthermore, the Ravens are 17-3-1 against the spread as underdogs since 2018. I am not touching this one. The Seattle Seahawks are visiting the Detroit Lions. Well, the hype around this Lions team has gone up exponentially, just skyrocketed. I don't think it's going to come down this week. I think they will crash down to earth, but not in week 2. I think they can go out and get the job done against the Seattle team, a Seattle team that underperformed at home. And I like this Lions team that is 24-11 against the spread under Dan Campbell. tied with the Cowboys for the best record since 2021. Los Angeles Chargers visiting the Tennessee Titans. I think the Chargers have too much firepower on offense. The Tennessee Titans passing defense is horrendous, and the Chargers are 8-1-3 against the spread in their last 12 meetings against the Titans. History is on their side, and current form is on their side as well, so let's take the Chargers. The Chicago Bears at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't do this. I just can't do this. Baker Mayfield is 0-8 against the spread in his last 8 starts as a favorite, and the Chicago Bears just didn't show up last week. I will be watching the Bears game. I am a Bears fan. Justin Fields, I'll be betting on him to go for over 50 yards at -190. I'll be including that in some parlays. But I think it's a throwing week, and I think the best value is Justin Fields to go over 170.5 yards passing. Kirk Cousins threw for over 340 yards against this Tampa Bay defense just last week, and Fields in practice earlier this week was talking about how he wants to open up the offense a little bit and take some more shots and trust his guys in 50-50 ball situations. So I think the Bears are going to stretch the field, and I think the over on Fields passing yards is where you play your smart money in that matchup. Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chiefs are 3-point favorites. This is my pick for game of the week. I like the over in this one. But as for a winner, and as for an outright pick, this all comes down to Travis Kelce for me, because the Jaguars, they're 5-0 outright as home underdogs under Doug Peterson, and 7-1 against the spread in their past 8 games, including the playoffs. If we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they just kind of beat up on the Jacksonville Jaguars. You have to monitor the health of Travis Kelce, but there could be some value on the Jags, who are 5-0 as home underdogs under the reign of Doug Peterson. That could be a sexy pick, especially if the Kansas City Chiefs receivers keep dropping balls. Indianapolis Colts visiting the Houston Texans. Stay away. One of these quarterbacks will get their first NFL win. That could be fun to watch. Otherwise, no. The San Francisco 49ers visit the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. They opened up as 6-point favorites. That's bet up to an 8-point favorite now. And Brock Purdy is 8-1 outright and 7-2 against the spread as a 49ers starter. I like the 49ers to go out, get the job done, and kick some butt against the Rams this Sunday. The New York Giants visit the Arizona Cardinals, and the Giants are 5.5-point favorites on the road, and I can't lay that on a team that just got slapped 40-0 at home. The New York Jets visit the Dallas Cowboys this weekend in a battle of elite defenses. I'm going to be taking the under in this game, but give me the Cowboys to win this one. Look, Zach Wilson, not a proven NFL quarterback. It's just that simple. Dak Prescott is. Both quarterbacks are turnover prone, so I like these defenses to go out and run the show. However, if you're giving me Dak versus Zach Wilson, I'm taking Dak 10 days out of 10. And here's a little betting nugget on why I like the under. Zach Wilson's last 7 starts have all hit under 39.5 points. The Washington Commanders visit the Denver Broncos this weekend, and here's another under for you. 2 solid defenses plus 2 struggling offenses equals under 39.5 points for me. The Washington Commanders offense wasn't just struggling last week, they were horrendous. They allowed 6 sacks and averaged just 3.8 yards per play, while scoring 20 points against a horrendous Cardinals team well at home. The Broncos also had an easy matchup taking on the Raiders, and they managed to lose that one, so I have no faith in either of these teams until they find their offenses. Make sure you lock in that under. Sunday Night Football, the Miami Dolphins are headed to New England, and the Dolphins have covered 5 straight meetings against the Patriots. Tua is 4-0 outright and against the spread against New England, and Mac Jones is 3-11 against the spread as a career underdog, including the playoffs. The Patriots are 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 games as underdogs. That kind of leads me to believe that I will be putting some sugar change on those Miami Dolphins. As for your survivor pick, here we go. No surprise here, it's the Buffalo Bills. As I said earlier, they're going to be playing angry. Josh Allen is going to be firing on all cylinders, and they should get up and run away with this one. And I like James Cook to take control of the game. I think Jimmy Garoppolo will be able to exploit some holes in this Buffalo defense, and he has the weapons to do it with Devontae Adams. However, Adams is banged up. Jacoby Myers, who caught 2 touchdown passes, is now in concussion protocol. So the Raiders could be in for a bit of a rude awakening. And if they have to rely on Josh Jacobs, I think they're just going to get swallowed up on offense as a whole. So I will be taking the Buffalo Bills as our survivor pick for week 2. Folks, as for your trivia question on this edition of Third and Long, who has the most passing yards in the history of the Buffalo Bills franchise? Head over to sportstree.ca, answer that question, and you're in to win. It's a fitting question. The Bills, they're our survivor picks. So who has the most passing yards in the history of the Bills as a franchise? Head over, answer that question, and you're in to win a pair of NFL or CFL tickets to see any team that you'd like to see play live. Folks, I'm Connor Roundtree. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the football.